Hey everyone, it's Rod with the POW Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth. Today is Monday, December 9th. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you're doing well. We have some activity going on in the crypto market at the moment. Massive crash and flash crash at the moment. Seems to be recovering nicely. We're going to get started here in about 30 seconds or so. Smash the like and let us know where you're tuning in from. VIP member Mr. Mankey in the house. How you doing? Thanks for joining. All right, welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, everybody. It's Rod with the POW Group. As I mentioned, today is Monday, December 9th. Hope you're well. Hope you had a great weekend. I was feeling a little under the weather yesterday, finally starting to feel better. I was sick with something else. Seems like I had some sort of virus, 24-hour stomach bug. Was really not fun, and I would not wish that on my worst enemy. But hopefully turned a page, feeling a lot better now. Wanted to come on, do a live stream. We have some major turbulence in the crypto market at the moment. So we're going to discuss that. I know some people are, not literally, but they're financially pulling their hair out at the moment. And this is crypto for you. We'll jump into any chart requests. If anybody does have any requests, as always, please let me know. And we'll jump to those at the end, but we'll take a look at the market and we'll do a quick market update before we jump into any requests. As always, you can smash the like, tick the bell. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. You can also follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. So just in $813 million liquidated from the cryptocurrency market in the past 60 minutes. And if we take a look here at the crypto space, we are recovering quite nicely. Bitcoin, just in a matter of, call it 6 hours, down about 6%. Altcoins absolutely demolished. Ethereum was down about 12%. And that's big. That's a big deal for, names like Bitcoin and Ethereum whenever they're, essentially like the market cap of, like an Amazon, right? It's almost the equivalent of Amazon dropping 5 to 10%. We have Litecoin down about 22%. We have XRP. That was a crazy wick down to $1.96. But if we go from just the recent high there, it's about 25%. We'll look at the high from 290, but in my opinion, this is a buy the dip opportunity. Not telling you to buy, sell, or hold, but I did send a message to my girlfriend just before starting the stream. I said, now is probably the time to start adding because she was looking to add. And if you're on the stream, shout out to my girl. But yeah, you were, that's kind of the name of the game, right? You have to be patient. Nothing goes in a straight line forever. So this is to be expected. HBAR down about almost 40%, so about 37%. And if we go to some of the recaps of 60 Minutes, if you haven't seen this, it's about a 13-minute clip. And it was basically a hit piece, right? They were kind of neutral, but I would say it favored more of a hit piece on crypto, not so much Ripple, but more so the crypto industry, not XRP and Ripple, the company, is more so the whole industry at large. And the face of a man who owns zero crypto. So this is John Reed Stark. He was one of the former SEC commissioners that they selected to basically go against, the anti-crypto stance during the interview. And he said so much dumb stuff. Like there's no way that this guy believes anything that's coming out of his mouth is true. Look at his face. Look at his eyes. He's like, I'm a liar and I'm a piece of crap. Basically, like he said, like, crypto doesn't have a balance sheet. Okay, show me the balance sheet of oil. Show me the balance sheet of gold. Like, it's actually embarrassing and just sad that this person was leading, like not leading, but a commissioner in the SEC. You can't tell me you don't know the difference between a commodity and a security, right? There is no balance sheet to a thing like oil or the US dollar, or like, this guy is so full of crap, it's not even funny. And he's just there as, sort of brown noser to Gary Gensler, right? He's obviously bought and paid for. But yeah, that face says it all. And then this face says it all. So this is the face of a coward. And this is a face of we're coming for you. You think it's game over, but it's game on. Look at the friggin' face of this man. This is the kind of leader you want. This is the CEO you want running a company, Ripple. Not to be confused with the digital asset XRP, a virtual, digital currency. There's two very different things, right? He's the CEO of a company called Ripple that you need to be accredited to buy private equity. They might IPO in 2025. XRP is a digital asset that they use as part of their tech stack, right? So this says it all. Oh my God. Like that's, I didn't see this. I was showing the video to my friends and I was telling them, like, look at the cowardness like on this guy's face. Like you can tell he's lying. You can tell he's uncomfortable. Just look at him. He literally looks like he's being held at gunpoint. Like, say this, it's absolutely asinine and hilarious when you really think about it. But that's all you need to see from this interview is that and that. This is a true face of a boss. And you couldn't ask for a better CEO. Switching over to MJ land. So former world leaders say international war on drugs is a failure on its own terms. Drug use itself is not the issue. It has been part of human societies for centuries. The real problem lies in how society responds to it. Amen to that. So the United States and Canada should fully decriminalize the use and possession of drugs rather than double down on failed drug war, according to a new report from the Global Commission on Drug Policy. So while crypto crashed today, MJ actually held up quite well. And that goes in line with my thinking that we're going to see MJ go on a big bull run after crypto enters its almost 5-year bull market, right? So this is more proof again today. Also, Canopy Growth, as expected, December 9th. Today, Canopy Growth and Acreage confirmed Canopy USA's completed acquisition of Acreage. So no hiccups there. So we are recovering here at the moment. We're actually starting the hourly bounce on a lot of names. On XRP, like I said, we hit $1.96 there, and we are now bouncing back up to $2.30. So in my opinion, this was just a liquidation event. There wasn't any major news behind it. Some say that, the 60 minutes crashed it and this clown, but at the end of the day, John Reed Stark can't move the market, right? It's just people getting over leveraged, over bullish, right? We had the stock market pulling back. The S&P 500 was pulling back as well. So if we bring up SPY here on the daily time frame, you can see here we were consolidating. We pulled back from the all-time highs. We were down about almost 1%, so little over 0.8%. Key support is going to be 602. And then ultimately, as long as we hold, that was the low there, the recent low. So as long as we hold 594, there's no major red flags here because it's still a potential daily bull flag on SPY, and it's targeting new all-time highs of 612. And we also have a monthly bull flag on SPY targeting 622. So I'm not worried at all. If we take a look at QQQ, whole market was down, right? QQQ, daily consolidation, NASDAQ actually confirmed a daily downtrend and bear flag. And we could still see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross. So this is just, broader markets. If we take a look at IWM, so the Russell 2000 also closed near the low of the day. So pretty much everything. You get the point, right? So everything was down. If we take a look at Bitcoin daily consolidation, we did hold support there at 92. We had a low of 94,249. So we're holding that key support at the moment. And we'll just take a look at the crypto space. So we have basic attention token down about 30%. And that was actually one of the names, and Filecoin. That was actually two of the names that my girlfriend was looking to add, BAT and File. So that, patience pays off, right? So that goes to show you, you don't have to buy everything when it's going up in a straight candle, straight line up, right? Nothing goes in a straight line forever. And in my opinion, like I said, this is just a liquidation event that is basically correcting itself because a lot of people go leverage, right? They over leverage themselves, and this is just how the market corrects itself. So as of right now, BAT, File, and EOS lead in the decline, but a nice recovery. I want to see how much BAT actually, wow, crazy. So from the recent high there on BAT, we dropped almost 46%. And just in 3 days, BAT is down, 43%. So from the recent high, we were down 46. So we'll go just from the high of Saturday to the low of the day today, we were down 43%. So, this goes to show you that crypto and MJ, right? They're the two most volatile, riskiest, highest reward sectors on the planet. And you need to have a stomach for it, right? Not everybody can deal with this type of volatility. It's very hard to look at something and see it go down 30, 40% in a matter of a couple of days, right? Like that would never happen with a name like say, Amazon. And now we have a similar asset, which would be Bitcoin. And you can see Bitcoin nowhere near the amount of a drop. And that just has to do with the sheer capital and market cap. But overall, market cap doesn't really mean anything either in crypto. It's kind of similar to saying, well, what's the balance sheet of Bitcoin, right? That it doesn't even make any sense. What's the market cap of Bitcoin? It's like trying to say, what's the market cap of oil, right? We're talking about commodities here. And it just goes to show you the overlap and, kind of the weird, the weird psychology behind the market, right? And crypto still to this day, still very nascent, right? We're still very early. And, a lot of people are looking at this like they're stocks. They're not, they're commodities. And even in this 60-minute interview, they talk about how I still can't get over that guy's face. That's so hilarious. Let's just go back to that. Coward, boss, coward, boss. But yeah, in the 60-minute interview, they talked about how the SEC they were going to be taking away power from the SEC. They still have a little bit of, kind of oversight and regulatory oversight on it, but most of it's going to be handled by the CFTC. Imagine that, the Commodities Futures Trading Corporation. So, obviously that should be the way we go forward, right? So yeah, we absolutely got pummeled today on crypto. If we take a look at MJ actually held relatively well. We didn't have much red. And we had a little bit of green out there, not too bad in the face of weakness. So in a sea of red across the broader market, MJ actually holding up not too bad. So if anybody does have any ticker requests, please let me know. We'll jump into those in just a moment. But XRP here on the weekly time frame, nice weekly higher low forming. And it's actually a weekly bull flag, which we'll take a look at in just a moment. I'll bring it up here as well, just so that I don't forget. And we'll look at Total 2 had the highest weekly candle close ever. And now starting weekly consolidation, it's a potential bull flag here. So as long as we hold 1.34 trillion, still a potential weekly bull flag, and we'd be targeting about 254 trillion, which would make sense. Bitcoin's about 2 trillion. Add everything excluding Bitcoin, that's almost 5 trillion. And Brad Garlinghouse, the man himself, man of the hour, no pun intended, he said that he predicts 5 trillion in market cap for the end of the year. Well, this weekly bull flag on Total 2 plus Bitcoin would bring us to around 5 trillion. And let's see if we have a weekly bull flag. We do have a weekly bull flag on Total. So this will be the total crypto market cap. So let's go from the low to the high there. So anything over 3.03 trillion is a potential weekly bull flag. And we'll just take our measured move. And I would say the GOAT, Brad Garlinghouse himself, is going to be very close to correct. If it's not by the end of December, I think it could be early January. And then we're going to see full blown alt season and small cap stock season, which I think MJ stocks could benefit from that small cap stock season as well in January, February. And there was also that cryptic tweet from Rory and Kitty that said 09/420, which is, maybe potentially January 9th to April 20th. We see some crazy meme stock action. Who knows? It could be related to GME. I think it's more so going to be like a meme stock, small cap stock season personally, but who knows? But yeah, this is looking like 5 trillion here, and we're rebounding nicely. So this is a nice weekly higher low forming. This is healthy. We needed this. When in doubt, zoom out, right? Everybody thinks, this is probably the end of the world. Is the bull run over? Absolutely not. We hadn't consolidated really on the weekly time frame since all the way back in the beginning of November. So this has now been, 35 days or 5 weeks, going on 6 weeks since we saw a nice weekly higher low and lost the low of the previous weekly candle. So overall, this is looking pretty good at the moment. XRP on the weekly time frame here. And just think about this, all the people that got exposure to XRP during that 60-minute live stream and episode, it said that XRP is now the third largest crypto. It's at over 300% return in just a couple of months. And it's giving, it's kind of getting people to start looking into XRP if they didn't already know what it was. And then once they start going on YouTube, once they start going on X and other, social platforms, Reddit, eventually the algorithm's just going to kick in and it's going to show them all, the truth and what the average XRP person is looking for, right? Not just this mainstream media, BS for lack of a better word, but, I've seen a movement going around to boycott 60 Minutes after this. I don't know if I'd go that far, but I certainly wouldn't be opposed to it. They didn't even mention that XRP, like this guy says, I talked to so many judges, and it's not like one judge or two judges. They all say they're securities. Cryptos are securities, but this is the face of a coward and a liar, right? And this guy's like, you numbskull, we just won a lawsuit against the SEC saying, like, explicitly that XRP is not a security, right? So it's a little outlandish and ridiculous, but this is why we can't have nice things, folks. This is why we can't have nice things. But yeah, XRP weekly consolidation underway. So this was the first time in 7 weeks, going on 8 weeks. So again, this is not to be feared, right? We need to just chill out. Like, nothing goes in a straight line forever. Look at this volume. This is just fine, right? So let's go from the low there, and I'm going to have to get rid of some stuff. There we go. Oh, actually, before I do that, it was a 2-hour bear flag that confirmed on XRP. I mentioned this to POW Group private members, so paid members. You go from the low here, the high there, to the low of the dump. And you can see here, we just barely got above the 0.382 fib, but we closed below it. Very, very weak bounce. And then once we lost the low there at 234, that confirmed the 2-hour bear flag. And then you just take your measured move there from the high to the low and move it out to your 0.382 fib. And it was saying 219 was the target. And on this crazy lower wick, we hit $1.96. So just in a couple of hours, so basically just under 4 hours, we dropped 20%. But now look what happened. In a span of, oh my God, that's nuts. In a span of 35 minutes, we're up over 18.5%, almost 19%. So that is a nice sign. You want to see that aggressive dip buying, right? This is not the sign of, oh, the bull market's over. This is the sign of, oh, this was a healthy pullback. All dips are for buying, in my opinion. But again, not telling you to buy, sell, or hold. This is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. So let's take a look at the weekly bull flag now potential. So we get rid of our fib tool and we'll draw another one. So it's a daily bull flag. And a lot of people were asking me, is the daily bull flag negated? So no, I do not think so. So in order to get our daily bull flag, you just go from the low there to the high and then move it out to our 0.32 fib, as I mentioned. And then you get a measured move of about 528. And it's saying we could get there between, mid-December and first week of January. So we'll see what happens. This is a good sign, I think, that we got this, over leveraged positions out of the way. We saw a nice healthy correction and we saw a weekly higher low, which is good in and of itself. And then now let's see what we're looking at in terms of a weekly bull flag. Just get rid of some of this stuff here. So in terms of the weekly time frame, we go from the low to the high there. So it held it perfectly right at the 0.32 fib. So you literally can't make this stuff up. People think technical analysis doesn't work. They just don't know how to use the tools we're given. So if we take a look at the measured move, that is perfection. If this plays out, this is going to be epic. It's saying $11.85 if confirmed. So in order to negate it, we need to lose the low there at 196, lose 196. Then we're probably heading back down to around 170, maybe even 150. But as long as we hold 196, it's still intact. And then to confirm it, we need to break the high there at 290. And I wouldn't consider the daily bull flag negated because I said we had to hold, what was the level? Let me just draw that again real quickly. I said we had to hold $216. Yeah, it would have been 216, but with that lower wick, I wouldn't really pay too much attention to that. I think because of, if it was just XRP that dropped and it didn't recover quickly, but since the whole market dropped, since, it was such a short-lived dip and flash crash, I would say that the daily bull flag, I say that's just more of a bear trap, in my opinion. So I would say the daily bull flag still intact. And like I said, if we zoom out to the weekly here, it's a perfect weekly bull flag at the moment. And I'm just going to post this in the POW Group private community as well. I know we have a ton of members on the live stream. But this would be epic if we see this XRP weekly bull flag. Like I said, the target on that would bring us to about $11.85. Yeah, so we were talking about this. I mentioned this in the POW Group private community. I was just posting this weekly bull flag potential here. But yeah, I mentioned this earlier. Yeah, so This was over an hour ago. XRP 2-hour bear flag, now about 5% away from the target. And we had a target of 219, and then we had that flash crash shortly thereafter. And this is why it pays to be looking at the rest of the market, right? Looking at SPY, looking at QQQ, looking at the NASDAQ, looking at Bitcoin, looking at all the other major players that affect world markets. And you would see that the whole broader market and Bitcoin were dropping, right? So if everything's dropping simultaneously, well, let's say you only own XRP. I don't care about any of that stuff. I don't need to look at it. Well, if you're not realizing that all sectors in the world, basically all the major sectors in the world are dropping, including, the beloved Bitcoin, well, you're missing half the story, right? It means that this pullback could intensify versus, if XRP were just pulling back itself and Bitcoin was holding up well, then, you might see some sort of news or something like that pertaining to XRP itself, right? Maybe something to do with like the Ripple case or something like that, something negative, right? But when it's the whole sector, it magnifies it. But again, you were given a pretty early heads up there, about an hour before the crash came. And that was just the 2-hour bear flag. So, I'm a perma bull for sure, but I just report what the charts are saying. And it was a 2-hour bear flag at the moment. So, we were bearish on the short term, bullish on the long term. Can't get any more bullish than this on XRP. And I do want to spend a little bit more time on this because, obviously Ripple and Brad Garlinghouse and the 60-minute gaining all the attention. A lot of people are saying this is a sell the news type of thing. I mean, maybe. I don't think that was the real reason. I think it's mostly just technical. I mean, if we look at the markets, it didn't really tank until quite a bit later, but he lied as well. Crypto law. So John Deaton, shout out to John Deaton. He lied as well. Judge after judge has declared token themselves to be securities. He just can't accept reality. Yeah, he's a complete coward and liar. Literally just had a verdict in the Ripple case from Judge Annalisa Torres saying that in and of itself is not a security. XRP is not a security. And this clown, my God, it's it's really, really shameful that these people were in power at some point, right? Even as a bureaucrat. But wow, just absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, overall, XRP looking fantastic here. We're still going parabolic at the moment. Like I said, potential weekly bull flag. Look at this. The 50 weekly is sitting at 68, and we got the 200 weekly at 65. So this is the bull cross that we were looking for last time it happened. So you can see here, as the cross happened, right? We had a big pullback and then another run, but this time we didn't have legal clarity. We didn't have, a potential resolution coming in the Ripple versus SEC case, right? This case could get could just get fully dismissed, right? Same with Coinbase, same with Binance, but I'd say the most likely scenario is that it settles, but it could very well be dismissed completely, entirely, right? That's a possibility. We have ETFs coming for XRP. We have a Ripple IPO in 2025. We have so many partnerships, an SBI Bank using XRP, all the banks in Japan using XRP by 2025, right? It's very close to that. We have legislation coming. We have stablecoins, RLUSD launch anytime. So there's so many catalysts. It's not even funny. Bitcoin breaking out into all-time highs, price discovery. So we have everything that we need. And this is looking fantastic. So like I said, I think this was just that, healthy dip that we needed before we see another leg higher. And in my opinion, I think all-time highs are more than likely going to be coming for XRP in the next couple of weeks. And then just as a quick update to the Bitcoin fractal here, and we'll get rid of this target here. So just as a quick update on the Bitcoin fractal, this is the all-time price index of Bitcoin in the blue. And you can see here, we're getting very, very close to it. So it was saying by December, we should be somewhere around $6. And we hit 290, closing in on all-time highs. Like I said, if we get that weekly bull flag, that would put us well above that target. But realistically, it's saying by January, we could hit $10, $10, $11. That lines up well with a weekly bull flag target. And we have been lagging a little bit on this fractal compared to the previous boom and bust cycles. Like you can see, it's very similar. We lagged here and then we caught up with a few God candles. This was pretty much similar the entire way on the bust cycle. And then again, we lagged quite a bit, and here we are getting caught up again with a couple God candles. So it's looking like February, March should be the top for the market, in my opinion. Same thing with Bitcoin. And same thing with the broader market as well, like your S&P 500s, etc. All right, so we got subscribers only mode for the chat. We got Mr. Mankey. I bought this dip with my calls on Tilray. Very nice. Yeah, Tilray held pretty nice today. Like I said, overall, all things considered in the market, not a bad day for Tilray. We do have a daily bear flag on deck. We're still waiting for that 114 target. Again, if you only own Tilray, you want to be checking other leaders in the sector as well, or other major names. And that other major name would be MSOS, which tracks all of the US MSOs. And you can see our daily bear flag as well, targeting 380. So from the recent double bottom that we saw, we're looking at about a move of another 7%. And keep in mind, we still have 3 weeks left of tax loss harvesting and selling. So, we're probably going to see some continued sell pressure leading into the end of the year here. Scott would like to take a look at Oxley. Yeah, sure. No problem at all. Yeah, not much to report there. It's one of the easier charts to chart at the moment. You just zoom out to the monthly. It's a monthly equilibrium. So we have a low, high, higher, low, lower, high, potential higher, low. And then we'll look to see which way this breaks. So we might see something around 3 cents there. And then we'll just bounce around here until we break bullish or break bearish. I'm on the side of leaning bullish, just because we could see a monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross as well, which would be the first in history. If you haven't seen my recent interview with Hugo Alves, just go to my channel on YouTube and type in Oxley Hugo Alves. And it'll be the first one there. Or just go here and type in Oxley Hugo Alves and it should pop up. So key resistance right now is going to be 7 cents. If we hold the low there at 2.5 cents, come back up, break 7 cents, we're in a monthly uptrend. And that would be the first time, I think, in history. I guess you had one here, low, high, higher, low, and higher, high. And then we entered a downtrend. We're trying to confirm a monthly uptrend there, but it's just been downtrending ever since. So technically, only ever did it once in history before this. So that'd be a huge statement if we were able to break 7 cents from here. But yeah, just keep it simple. Key support is going to be 2.5 cents, and then key resistance 7 cents. Break that, monthly uptrend confirmed. Then we'll expect a monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross over, the next, call it, based on how far away we are right now between those EMAs, I would say at least 3 months, maybe 6. But keep in mind, these EMAs and moving averages, exponential moving averages as well, they're all lagging indicators, right? They follow the price. So by the time they cross bullish, we'll already see prices probably a lot higher than they are now. But just because they cross bullish and the price is higher, it can still go higher, right? Like there's usually major momentum behind that. And an example of that would be, well, let's use XRP, for example. So XRP just had its monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. It actually happened back in December and January of this year. And now we're finally getting the upside, right? And now they're starting to distance themselves and go parabolic. And that was the same thing here, right? Bull cross, massive upside ensued. Then we had the bear cross, downside. And this was only the second time, actually, yeah, 1, 2, it's the third time in history for XRP that we had a monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. And as the saying goes, usually third time's the charm. Ontario Leamington, very nice. Easy boy in the house. A free land is where I am. Awesome. Yeah, I'm trying to get Tilray on for an interview as well. Been really difficult getting a hold of anybody there. Also reached out to Raj Grover. I was speaking with him from High Tide, and hopefully we can get some. He's traveling at the moment on business, so hopefully when he gets back, we can get something lined up. From Louisville, Kentucky, very nice. Welcome. Appreciate you joining the stream, Scott. XRP and XLM. Yeah, so we just dove into XRP quite a bit, so we can take a look at XLM here. So it's a monthly inside bar, not to be surprised by that based on the size of the range. So it's a weekly bull flag on XLM as well, which actually looks like we pulled back a little bit more than we would have liked to see. It was a daily bull flag, actually. That's where I drew it. So yeah, similar to XRP, but yeah, we had to hold 41 cents and we dipped down to 35 cents. So we did pull back to the 0.5 over the 0.5% retracement. Could still see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross as well. So not as confident in that daily bull flag playing out anymore. That's all it is, right? We're not here to predict things. It's not a guarantee. It's just probability and support and resistance. And we just lost key support. So we're no longer expecting a daily bull flag at the moment. But yeah, to go from the low to the high there on the weekly time frame, same deal. If we go from the local low there though to the high, yeah, still pulled back more than we would like to see. So it's entirely possible we pull back to around 30 cents on XLM, backtest weekly EMA 12 there. That'd just be healthy as well, in my opinion. But we might be favoring a type of equilibrium pattern now where, we tighten up like that. And we do have the 10-week moving average there at about just under 27 cents. Stochastic bear cross, not a great sign. But just like XRP, we're gearing up for that 50 and 200 weekly moving average bull cross. Last time that happened on XLM went from about 2 pennies all the way up to 80 cents. And if XRP has legal clarity, it's not a security. Well, we can safely say that XLM isn't either. It's basically a copycat, right? Same creator that created XRP, Jed McCaleb, one of the co-creators of XRP Ledger, he went off to create XLM. So this is probably, I would say, a couple of weeks away before we see those cross bullish. And that would be huge for XLM. And we also have the 50-day moving average there at around 26 cents. So a lot of support in that 30 to 26 cent area. If you're wondering, where's a potential temporary bottom, that should be a solid area of interest. Yeah, overall, we are recovering quite nicely. Bitcoin back up to 97,000. Litecoin trying to hold $100, which it has. Filecoin, yeah, we can take a look at that. I was actually thinking about adding a little bit of Filecoin myself today. Yeah, weekly higher low forming. And we almost backtested EMA 12, which is sitting at 527. We had a lot of support in that area. Monthly time frame. We did hold monthly EMA 12. So we're gearing up for the second bull cross in history on Filecoin. And a lot of names are starting to see their monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull crosses. So that increases the odds for the names that haven't already done so, that they likely will follow suit. But we're at least a few weeks away before we see that, maybe even a couple months. I wouldn't be surprised if Filecoin was like a little bit of a laggard this alt season, but I don't think we've seen full-blown alt season yet. In order to see full-blown alt season, it'd be great if we could get this daily bear flag on Bitcoin dominance, but it actually just negated it. But if we ignore that upper wick, yeah, we're selling off pretty good here now. And alts are regaining strength here quite fast, I will add here, in comparison to Bitcoin strength. So yeah, if we lose 54% on the Bitcoin dominance, this bear flag saying 50%, and I think we could go a lot lower than that. DXY is also showing some signs of reversals, so we could see some weakness there, which generally bodes well for risk on assets, so stocks and crypto. Yeah, Filecoin not spared by the market bloodbath here. And this one was also a 2-hour bear flag by the looks of it. Yep. Go from the high to the low there. Very weak bounce, didn't get above the 0.32 fib, and then we just take our measured move there from the high to the low, and it was saying about 651. And like I said, that massive over exaggerated drop down to 551. An extra dollar. But this is what happens whenever you're over leveraged, right? Not holding up too bad. We have the 10-week moving average there at $5. We're still holding our weekly moving averages. And there's a lot of support there at $5 as well. And then if we were to follow the rest of the crypto space at the moment and get back up to around our 200 weekly, that'd put us around $23 Filecoin. I do own Filecoin, just had a golden cross as well, but we had a pretty big move leading up into that. So, and we have the 50-day moving average there just under $5. So a lot of support there, and $5. Can't go wrong adding near those levels in my opinion. And like I said, just with this recent drop here, got very close at 552. All right. While everything crashed, MJ started to soar. Yeah, I wouldn't say soar, but I would say for sure, Mr. Maggie, like it held up well. Decibel, I also just interviewed the CEO of Decibel. They're having a nice day today. Weekly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross lining up. Yeah, off the low there, just in a few months, up about 141%. And like I said, I just interviewed the CEO of Decibel. If you haven't checked that out, Benjamin Z, here it is here. I just interviewed him not too long ago. When was that? 5 days ago? Crazy. Time flies. But yeah, overall held up pretty well today. And yeah, we're going to see that rotation sooner or later. Like, you have to really think, like, what other sectors are people going to invest in if big tech, crypto, AI, you know, all these sectors enter a bear market, which I think will happen at some point in the second or third quarter of 2025. Well, where's the money going to go, right? It's probably going to go to cash, maybe precious metals. But what are some other high risk sectors that haven't been, you know, that have been absolutely decimated? Well, that'd be MJ, psychedelics, and the biotech sector really at large. So I think that it would make a lot of sense. And that's what I'm going to be looking to do. So if I'm looking to do that, I would imagine other savvy investors are looking to do the same. Hi, could you do XSP XSwap protocol? Yeah, we can take a look at that. So I got Cole all handled there. So yeah, we can take a look at that, God. Let's see here. XSP, I've never heard of that before. XSP. Oops, XSP. Is that a crypto? I assume so, if it's protocol. Is it a swap? Or like wrapped? Yeah, if you can let me know what the ticker name is and which exchange it's on, I can circle back. We got FB saying sector rotation, Tilray, and love for Oxley. Absolutely. Yeah, they're two solid LPs in my opinion. Yeah, sector rotation. I think we'll see. It'll be a little while before we see sector rotation. FB. I think it'll be mostly like, you know, I think Bitcoin, big tech is going to top out probably in the next month or so. We'll see rotation from Bitcoin into altcoins, full blown alt season into, you know, probably into the new year. Sometime topping out sometime around February, March, and then during that time where Bitcoin tops out, I think big tech will top out as well, and then we'll see rotation from Bitcoin into altcoins, full blown alt season. We'll see rotation from big tech into small cap stocks, so small cap stock season around the same time as alt season. I think, you know, MJ will benefit from a small cap stock season, and then after that, you know, if the whole sector crashes or if the whole broader market story crashes, it's going to obviously impact the sector. But I think MJ will go on to recover a lot more, you know, a lot quicker, and then also the potential to be one of the, if not the best performing sectors over the next couple of years. Yeah, pretty nuts out there. Hopefully I'm crossing my fingers on a bear trap. Yep. Fear No Evil says, when will XLM break out? It's probably going to be a little while now. Unfortunately. Yeah, it had a huge move too, right? Whoops. Why did we deleted symbols? We go here. Yeah, it hit a huge move, right? Like just in from the low. Okay, let's just use the low of November. So from the low of last month to the high of last month, it was up over 600%, right? Just in 1 month. From the low of last month, like I said, to the high is up about over 600%, 620%. And then here we are down about 43%. So if something goes up 50 to 100%, you need to expect at least a 10 to 20% pullback. If something goes up, 200 to 400%, at least a 30% pullback. If something goes up multiple hundreds of percent, like anywhere from, like I said, 300 to 600, you need to expect at least a 40 to 50% pullback. And here we are down almost 50%. So as of right now, monthly inside bar just forming. So I'd say, we could pull back, with this lower wick here, we had 35 cents. So I was looking at around 30 cents, which would be weekly EMA 12. But I would say, over the next few weeks, leading into the end of the year here, I think will be very positive for altcoins. And like I said, we still need Bitcoin to really top out. I think Bitcoin's probably going to hit, somewhere around 120, 140K. I'm not in the camp of thinking it's going to, $300,000 or $200,000 a cycle. I mean, it could. I just don't see that as the most likely scenario. And we haven't even started weekly consolidation on Bitcoin yet. So if all the altcoins are doing it, it's entirely possible that Bitcoin wants to come down and form a weekly higher low as well. We haven't consolidated really since back here in the first week in November either. So it's now been 5 weeks in a row, going on 6 weeks without any weekly consolidation or higher low. And if we were to backtest EMA 12 like everybody is doing pretty much in the sector, that's around 84,000. And from the high at 104,000 to that would be about a 19% drop. So what did altcoins do? They went up 600, anywhere from 300 to 600%. So 40, 50% pullback. Okay. What was the rule of thumb there that I just used, right? If it goes up 100%, expect a 10, 20% pullback. Okay. Well, that's exactly what Bitcoin went up, about 100%. And here we are down 10%. But if we hit EMA 12, that'd be about a 20% pullback. So again, that 10 to 20% pullback, right? So let that be a lesson as well. Next time, if something runs 400, 500% in a very short period of time, we're talking weeks or months, like a couple of months, few weeks, you need to expect at least 40% pullback if something's up like, 300 to 600%. But I certainly wouldn't try to time the market at this point. Like, why would you want to time the market in the most explosive, euphoric phase of the bull market when historically alt seasons and, the tail end of bull markets in crypto only last a few months, right? So in my opinion, it's just remove the stress. Just in my opinion, all dips are for buying at this point. Take the free money and just like Wall Street Bets said, long XRP. If you want free money, long XRP. On average down, if you're too high, never sell with loss if you believe in your stocks. Yeah, Hesa, I mean, it depends. It depends on if a company's, if it's a company that's going under, right? Like say Acreage Holdings. Well, we knew that the shares were essentially worthless a couple of weeks ago. So if you were one of those people who said, I'm going to average down on my acreage, it's at a penny, my cost basis will lower dramatically. Well, if you're not doing the fundamental research and the due diligence, well, you would know that the stock probably isn't going to recover. And in fact, it didn't. So, you got to be really careful. You want to be making sure you're invested. And I mentioned this today to multiple people, actually. You need to focus on the why versus the what, right? The why is way more important than the what. And, if you get the why right and you do thousands, if you put in your thousands and thousands of hours of research, it won't matter if a stock or a crypto drops. Like, I could care less if XRP dropped 80%. Like, I know what I hold. I know what it's trying to solve. I know why it's a good investment. I just don't care, right? Like, I know it's just, humans being humans, acting irrational and being emotional and selling things that, the stock market and the crypto industry is full of people that know the price of everything but the value of nothing. So I would encourage you to focus a little bit more on the why versus the what, right? But yeah, Acreage Holdings, they just got acquired today. So yeah, you can see, like, this is an example, right? We're sitting at half a penny and we were just at, 50 cents not too long ago. We were at 68 cents in April. And just from April to where we are, lost almost 100% of its value. So this is one of those names where, if you're not looking at news, if you're not doing your research, if you're not staying current, and there's a reason why I didn't invest in Acreage in the first place. I never really saw the value proposition. And I always thought, if I was going to hold one, it'd just be Canopy Growth. And, if you're trying to get the ratio or whatever, you had to hold for so long. But, this is just one of those names I didn't really, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I just had a bad taste in my mouth from it. It smelled funny. And, if you're not looking at this news, right, if you're somebody who's holding this and you're not staying current, well, you can get absolutely wrecked, right? So I agree to a certain extent. You have to, average down. If you're down, dollar cost averaging is very powerful, but you can always go lower and it can always go higher than you think, right? The market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. So, you have to be, it takes an experienced investor definitely to catch a falling knife, so to speak. And, as long as you're not going all in and you're not risking any more than you're willing to lose, and you're doing your due diligence, that, if the company's paying down its debt and the debt is decreasing and the share price is decreasing and the revenues are going up, the market share is going up, and, partnerships and all this stuff and brand recognition, all of these things are trending in the right direction. You're seeing accretive M&A and things like that. And like I said, paying off debt, well, share price dropping 80-90% may just be the market overreacting, which it does quite often, right? So you just got to kind of look under the hood and see what kind of red flags, yellow flags are there, and if it's warranted. And if it's not warranted, then it's on sale. And as we know, the stock market is a place where people don't like to buy sales. They like to buy green candles, and they like to buy things when they're going up. ACB Tilray for the long, of course. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with Aurora long term. Hayes, it's hard to say. Like, obviously, they're focusing more on the medical side of things, especially like international. So we'll see what happens there. I'm not a huge bull on Aurora. I own a small, tiny piece of it just to diversify a little bit. But yeah, Tilray, my biggest holding by far. Bear Trap, it's time, MJ. Yeah, I don't know about that. I think MJ will benefit in a small cap stock season, but I think that's probably going to be January, if not February. And then I think the broader market will probably top out. MJ will get hit. And then after that, I think we'll see rotation from some of our other sectors like the big tech, crypto, AI, etc. Chicago in the house. Welcome, Juan. Never been. I can't wait to go to Chicago, actually. We got Germany in the house. Very nice. Tilray isn't big in Germany. Yeah, it's still early days there, right? But as we know, they're number one in terms of market share, and they were the first to get the new cultivation license under the new regulations. So huge head start there in Germany for Tilray. We got Leopold saying, when might an upswing happen to the MJ industry? Mid-January, if ever? Yeah, so exactly what I just said read my mind. So yeah, it's I would say probably mid-January. That also lines up with rescheduling and everything as well. So could see safer banking. It's looking like it's not going to happen this year in a lame duck. So, it's probably going to be a new admin thing in 2025. And then could see uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ. There's talks about excise tax improvement in Canada. Who knows? Maybe that happens in 2025 budget. But as of right now, yeah, I would say with tax loss selling overhang and cloud above our heads, I would say, mid-January probably makes the most sense. I'm ready to buy more Tilray. I have so much confidence in it for the long run. It doesn't even need an all-time high. Give me 2030 and I'm great. Yeah, I agree. BJ. Yeah, it's you definitely don't need all-time highs on Tilray to see life-changing well, especially given how irrational the market has been. HBAR, yeah, we can take a look at HBAR Idaho. I'm going to start wrapping it up here soon. Can't believe it's been almost an hour already. I wish killing time at the airport was this fast. Maybe next time I'm waiting for a flight or something like that, I'll have to go live. Yeah, so HBAR, again, another massive move, right? Just in a couple of months, it's up almost 10x. Like, it's up 800 over 800%, 865%. And then here we are down from the high there to the low, we're down 34%. So not worried at all. We did confirm a daily downtrend with a lower high, lower low. That means zoom out to the weekly, look for weekly consolidation. It hasn't started yet. It has started on a lot of other names though, but that just has to do with the amount of move. So it's entirely possible we do start weekly consolidation and lose 20 cents. We have weekly EMA 12, which a lot of names are back testing. That's sitting at 15 cents. So somewhere around that 20 to 15 cents area should be a nice target for HBAR here in the short term. But yeah, massive move, right? Just went from, I was buying this thing at 4 cents, 5 cents, and then just in a couple months, it's up almost 10x. It had the partnership with SpaceX too, right? So very bullish on HBAR. Yeah, we're still looking great here on the weekly time frame. We're close to seeing a stochastic bear cross, but hasn't done it yet. And just like XRP, we're looking to follow in the footsteps. We want to see this 50 and 100 weekly moving average bull cross. Hasn't happened. This would be the first in history. And it realistically could happen over the next couple months. And if it does, HBAR is going to absolutely fly. We just had a golden cross as well. And I just posted a video on HBAR recently. So if we were to see new all-time highs in price discovery, which we got darn close, right? All-time highs at just under 59 cents at 58.4 cents. We almost hit 40 cents. So I think, we could easily hit the 3.618 fib extension of 4.618. That'd bring us up to around $2, $2.50. I think we could easily do that this cycle. We hit the $2 mark. That's about another 650% from here. And the 4.618, the 250 is around another 800% from here. So, this thing, I think it could even go to like $3 or $5 this cycle, to be honest. It was more than likely a bear flag on the 2-hour time frame as well. And a 2-hour EMA 12 and 26 bull cross wasn't as clear here. Just zoom out. Yeah, it was a bit of a descending triangle, actually. Let's just see. Zoom out. Yeah, pretty choppy. I guess you could say that was a descending triangle. Let's get rid of some of these lines here. And then I usually like to use the real candle bodies for a measured move. See, I'd say around 20 cents. So again, same thing, right? The more targets you have that say the same thing, right? That's called confluence. And then we have, what was it? The daily EMA 12 daily EMA 26 at 20 cents. And we just had the first ever monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross as well. So this is looking decent. Same here, play $20 to $30. Yep. Means about 20x. Yeah. If we get, many investors, like traditional investors look at, 5, 10x, 20x, like that's insane, right? Like the S&P is usually only accustomed to like 14% returns a year. I think it happens. I agree. What about CRON? Yeah, we can take a quick peek at CRON. So obviously sitting on like $1 billion in cash. We'll see what happens with some M&A with CRON, but close at the low of the day. Not really spared by the broader market weakness, but yeah, EMA 12 and 26 bull cross lining up on the weekly, but probably at least a couple of weeks out again, lining up with my thinking that it's probably going to be a 2025 thing after tax loss harvesting, and monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross lining up first in history as well. Actually, we did have one back here in March of 2021, but we didn't see that much upside. And it ended up being a bull trap, and then monthly downtrend confirmed and bleeding ever since. So from the all-time high to where we currently are now, we're down about 91%. So the next time we have a monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross, it's going to be a big one based on how beaten down we are. So yeah, we did have support there at 189, and last month we hit 191. So basically a double bottom there, not a bad entry. Playing off that key support. Yeah, MACD's set to cross bullish here any week now. Don't sleep on CRON. There might even be some news coming out of this guy at some point soon. Also gearing up for a golden cross over the next, say, few weeks. So yeah, pretty choppy. I think it was a weekly bear flag as well. It might have bounced actually a little bit. Yeah, I already had it drawn out. So yeah, it's a weekly bear flag. And the target is 183. And then we had a descending triangle targeting about 177. So yeah, somewhere around that 183, 177 should be a nice bottom area. I mean, just a couple of weeks ago, about a month ago, we hit 191. So we came pretty close, within about 4 to 7% from those targets. So respectively. Can't go wrong though, adding this one here in my opinion. But like I said, with tax loss harvesting going on for another 3 weeks or so, wouldn't be surprised if we saw another leg down. Australia in the house. Welcome, Anthony. That's awesome. Not sure I had an Aussie in the live chat before, so welcome. Appreciate you joining the stream. WTF just happened. Market makers going after longs. Yeah, definitely. Don't hack me. Yeah, love the handle. Yeah, so as a Watcher Guru posted, $813 million liquidated from the crypto market in just 60 minutes. And kind of funny, in 60 minutes, just after 60 minutes. But shout out to John Deaton. He lied as well. Judge after judge has declared the tokens themselves to be securities. He just can't accept reality. But this is the face of a liar and a coward and an absolute scumbag, right? And then this is the face of, oh, we're coming for you. I'm on a mission now. Coward, boss. Coward commander. Love it. But yeah, in my opinion, it was just a flushing of longs, and overall we're bouncing nicely here and recovering out of these depths of despair. But in my opinion, it's just healthy. Like we needed those weekly higher lows. We were getting very extended on the weekly time frame, and now that we've got, you know, even like a name like XRP right after this huge move, we finally have weekly consolidation. We finally have a weekly higher low and a weekly bull flag. So don't be surprised if we see some major news coming. Look at that volume too. Like things are really starting to heat up in a big way. So in my opinion, it was just, yeah, exactly. Leverage longs getting liquidated and people getting over leveraged in the market and getting humbled. And now, you know, we're set to go higher from here, in my opinion. Could see another little bit more of a leg down, like maybe, you know, another 5-10% on most names. But I would say the temporary bottom's close to being in here now on crypto. And I think we're going to enter another leg up here in the next couple of weeks. I wouldn't be surprised if XRP were hitting new all-time highs in the next, around Christmas, right? It'd be the 4-year anniversary as well, just a couple days before Christmas when the SEC sued Ripple. And wouldn't that be nice if we had all-time highs right around the 4-year anniversary? It's also lining up with like a 4-year cycle. Imagine that. Hello, new here. Welcome, Renatus. Been watching along and I like your vibe. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Thanks for tuning in. I got a massive bag of True Leave at 16 from 2021. Got any coverage of this? Yeah, we can take a look at that. So TCNNF. So you're at 16. Assume you mean USD. So yeah, we're sitting at 540. You would have been close to break even there on the run up to the Florida vote, but then obviously that did not pass. 60% threshold, very difficult. Came in at 57. I mean, that's darn close, but confirmed a monthly downtrend here with a lower high and a lower low. And yeah, now we're just looking to stop the bleeding and find the directional move from here, right? So never seen a monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross yet either. So this would be the first in history. And that could happen, I would say, probably in the next, judging by how close they are now, I'd say maybe like 3 to 6 months. But again, kind of thinking of the same same thought process that we're going to probably see another couple of weeks of weakness as we lead into tax loss selling the end of the year. And this was a daily bear flag, and I might have already drawn it out. Did I? No. So go from the high to the low there. So yeah, anything under 817 was a daily bear flag. So it was saying about 324 was the target, but we would have to lose support there at 519. 517. So 517 key support, lose that, we could see another 30% of downside. And you have to think too, like when Truly was ramping up their Florida footprint and all that, they were like, it's probably going to cut into their margins, right? Because they were planning for that extra capacity to serve the adult use market, and then it didn't pass. And yeah, we're even forming a descending triangle here now. Not the most clear descending triangle, but and generally descending triangles are at the top of a bull move, but psychology is still there, and that one's saying around 350. So all about 517. Lose that, yeah, it wouldn't be good. So that's key support to watch for now. But yeah, just like crypto today, right? Some names down 30-40% from the recent highs, and Truly even, let's just go from here. In 2 trading days, it was down 60%, right? So again, in this stream, we're talking about crypto and MJ, and it just goes to show you these are the 2 most volatile asset classes on the planet. But just because something drops 40-50% in a day or a couple of days or a week doesn't mean that it's not investable or it's non-touchable, right? It's actually what we want. If something's pulling back 40-50% in a matter of days or weeks, that means there's so much opportunity to the upside, right? Like, it's a case in point. Look at Bitcoin, right? Just in the last few hours, it only dropped 6%, right? While some of our altcoins drop 30-40%, because that means that there's so much opportunity still to the upside, whereas the opposite with Bitcoin is true. There's just not that much upside potential. If Bitcoin dropped 40% in a couple of days, like, it'd be like Armageddon, like the world would be coming to an end, right? Like an asteroid would have to hit the earth or something. Like, it'd be like devastating, right? To like humanity. So same thing with like an Amazon. Imagine if Amazon dropped like 40% in a couple of days, like it'd literally be the end of the world, literally. So we embrace volatility. We want the volatility. And here is Ethereum almost starting the hourly bounce, just like Bitcoin. All right, wrapping it up. This has been fun. Total 3 is brutal. Anthony says, oh, you mean like in terms of pullback? It's actually not too bad. When in doubt, zoom out. So yeah, that's brutal. But when in doubt, zoom out and check this out. It's still a perfect weekly bull flag. So this is actually a good thing, because like I said, it's a very, very brief consolidation. We closed last week's candle the highest ever in history. So that's a good sign. And we just got our weekly higher low in consolidation. And we're holding the 0.32 fib perfection. So as of right now, as long as we hold 932 billion, as long as we hold that, then it's still a potential weekly bull flag. And if we hold that and then break 1.16 trillion, then it's going to confirm, and we'll be targeting 1.9 trillion on that weekly bull flag. You just take your measure move there from the low to the high, move it out to your 0.32 fib. And that makes a lot of sense, right? Brad Garlinghouse said, somewhere around 5 trillion by the end of the year. And this would be about 1.9 trillion. So you add the 2 trillion from Bitcoin. This is total 3, so it excludes Ethereum. So add Ethereum's, whatever it is, like 400 billion. That puts us right around 5 trillion. And if it doesn't happen this month, I think we'll get to that 5 trillion early January. Tilray 3.5. Eat World, yeah. I mean, that's just the start. that's not even. That's like a walk in the park once we turn things around. TerraSend, yeah, we can take a look at TSND. I'm not the biggest fan of TerraSend, to be honest. If anything, I think Canopy has like 13% ownership or something like that. I think it was like 17% and then it was like 13%. I can't keep track of it anymore, but not my big. If I were a betting man, I would say they're probably going to get absorbed by Canopy USA, and might not necessarily be a good thing because look what just happened to Acreage. Acreage holders got shafted, and it was a weekly bear flag here as well, and it was targeting 116, and we hit a low there of 93 cents. I think it might have been another daily bear flag as well, but obviously the Florida vote and tax loss selling playing a major factor. Yeah, it was a daily bear flag as well. So if we go from the high to the low there and just get a rough measured move. Yeah, I'm saying about 112. So we got a bit of a pennant forming here now. So we'll see which way it breaks out of this, but back around $1. And if these names were listed on U.S. major exchanges, you'd be flirting with reverse split territory and delisting FUD, right? But yeah, I'd be cautious with TerraSend, to be honest. Like AYR, I'm not a big fan of them anymore at all. Like I had a little bit of a position leading into the Florida vote, but I would say they're probably going to get acquired or something worse. And TerraSend, I'm not the biggest fan of it, to be honest. Monthly downtrend confirmed. So yeah, key support going to be $1. That was the low of last month and psychological. And then after that, we're looking at all-time low at 65 cents. But yeah, if I were to hazard a guess, I would say TSND is probably going to get acquired by Canopy USA. It just has to, right? Like, well, it doesn't have to, but it should. Like, there's like over 1,000 LPs, licensed producers in Canada. There's probably more than that in the US. Think of how many abroad. Like, we don't need thousands of players. Like, look at any other industry. How many big players are in big tech? How many big players are in the automobile industry? How many big players are in the alcohol industry, right? It's usually like a dozen or two, like major ones that have market caps of 100 billion or like 50 to 100 billion in excess of that. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of consolidation. Not looking too bad here in the weekly time frame. We're set to potentially have a weekly MACD bull cross, but yeah, we're still got a lot of work to do here. Daily time frame, I think we just had a death cross, which yeah, we did. We're still a ways away before we see a golden cross. So yeah, all about $1, and then after that, Geronimo down to 65 cents. Anthony says, I really like your content. You should have a lot more followers. Glad I have found you. I appreciate it. We needed this to happen, and it was perfect timing. 60 minutes meant nothing, but was the catalyst needed. Let's go. Absolutely. I think it was great. It was neutral, slightly a hit piece, but overall neutral, and just good for the exposure of Ripple, the company, and XRP, the digital asset. And, I don't know. We'll see what happens. They're probably a lot of people are going to boycott 60 Minutes. Most of the people watching 60 Minutes regularly anyway are, kind of the baby boomers and, your 50, 60 demographic age. But yeah, any publicity is good publicity, even if it's painted in a little bit of a negative light. But I appreciate your support. Yeah, so with regards to subscribers, like I'm not like most channels where I pay for ads, I pay for likes and clicks and followers and all that stuff. Subscribers, I don't pay any of that. I don't pay any third-party services. I tell people what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. And sometimes that gets me in trouble, especially with my girlfriend. Sometimes I tell her what she needs to hear, not what she wants to hear. I give her that tough love, and she doesn't like it. But I think ultimately people will respect you more if you tell them what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. And I try not to do clickbait. I try not to, be all moon boyish like most channels. So, I try to be as biased as I can and try to report, honestly and with the highest integrity. I'm not here chasing views, chasing subscribers. I'm just here trying to to help as many people as I can, prevent people from making the same mistakes I made, and, just learn the markets together. And the more eyes we have on the market, the better. But, at the end of the day, you don't need another channel just kind of fluffing you up with all kinds of hopium, right? If that's what you want, I mean, by all means. But yeah, I like to come on here and interact with the audience, and yeah. Oh, and also I focus mostly on MJ stocks. So MJ the plant has not been very popular in investing. So once MJ starts to turn around, I think we'll see a big flood into the channel. But again, I'm not waiting on that. I'm not hoping for that. It'll happen if it happens. If it doesn't, that's fine, right? My channel will grow as fast as it'll grow organically. And yeah, I appreciate the support. Crypto is a little bit of a different beast, right? Because there's so many videos on crypto. There's so much content. Whereas, MJ, yeah, it's not popular, but it's getting quite often my videos get a lot more views. And that's just because there's not a whole lot of MJ content out there, right? But crypto, like it's insane. Like my latest videos for Chainlink's got like 2K views. XLM got 1K views. My XDC videos got 4.2 thousand views, but my XRP videos only get like 400 or 500 views. That's not because XRP is not popular or not as popular as XDC. It's just there's not as many people covering XDC, which is why you're seeing those crazy numbers, right? But glad you enjoy the channel. Nature lover in the house. I think I got everybody's comments, so appreciate it. Do you think Schedule 3 is happening next year? Yeah, I think so. It's very possible that we get descheduling. I'm not sure. I don't want to put a timeline on that. I mean, ultimately, I think we're going to end up descheduled. Is it just going to be in the next 2 years, 4 years plus? We don't know. I think rescheduling is pretty much, a done deal. If not rescheduling, then descheduling. And we have we'll see who comes out as the DEA head now. The old one or the other one, the candidate stepped down. So we'll see who comes in. But, ultimately, the new administration seems very pro common sense and very pro America, very pro American people. And the American people have spoken, right? There's like 70% of the nation want it legalized. Over half of the nation have legalized it in some form or another, right? It's like Canada, we've been legal for over 6 years. Like Germany, the US is never first and they're never last. So I think, the next 2 to 4 years will be very, very pivotal in the MJ industry. But yeah, I think rescheduling Schedule 3 will happen in 2025. I think we'll get some sort of safe banking access. Like you still can't buy MJ products with a credit card, for crying out loud. Like it's like you're treated like a criminal. It's like almost like you're in the illicit market, right? It's like you're going to the dealer to buy with cash still. It's absolutely bass-ackwards. So yeah, we need to get with the program here and get you Americans up to speed here. And the only way we're going to do that is by making our voices heard, reach out to our elected representatives, let them know, vote in pro crypto or vote in pro crypto, vote in pro MJ candidates, right? It's the only way we're going to get change. And, eventually you're going to get more younger demographics in there. You're going to get more progressive younger people. So, it's the failed war on drugs, as I mentioned in the earlier part of this live stream. And it's just decades and decades and decades of stigmatization and propaganda and just lies and BS, right? So it takes a long time to break that. And a lot of it is pushed by these big alcohol, pharma, tobaccos, because they're the one being disrupted, right? I used to work for a big pharma company, and it was multi-billion-dollar company, and they got fined big money for the opioid crisis. And once they figured out, there's not much money to be made in opioids anymore, all they could talk about was CBD and different cannabinoids for like 2 years, right? They couldn't wait to get their hands all over it. Because they know it's the next big thing. So they're being disrupted, and they have to figure out a way to slow the industry down, just like the banking system, just like traditional finance are trying to slow crypto down. They're bringing their lawsuits, and they're bringing their politicians and their lawmaker friends, right? And they're trying to do that to slow the industry down so that the incumbents can catch up, right? The JP Morgans, the Morgan Stanleys, the Goldman Sachs of the world. And then once they figure out how to make money, they'll unleash the shackles and they'll open the floodgates, right? It's just classic finance 101. Right? Why do you think there's the accredited investor status, right? Why do you think you have to have $1 million net worth to be able to invest in these up and coming companies, right? These pre-IPO, it's so ridiculous. Like I can go to the casino and gamble all my money away, but I can't invest in a company that hasn't gone public yet. Like what? Makes no sense. The only sense that is behind it is it's a scam. It's the rich get richer and to keep the poor and to keep us out, right? Us peasants. Well, no, you can't invest. You're too dumb. It's too risky, right? You're too dumb. You're not savvy enough. You're not rich enough, right? It's just like, I would say if I was if I would have it my way, I would get rid of the accredited investor status altogether. Whether or not it happens or not, I think there's a good chance that it will go away. But maybe they just lower the barrier of entry as well. That's another maybe they do that like incremental approach, right? Where they crawl, walk, run. Maybe they don't just abolish it completely, but they sort of lower the barrier of entry and criteria. All right. I did not expect the stream to go an hour and 15 minutes, so I appreciate everybody's contributions. Thanks for tuning in. It's Rod with Pow Group. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth. We'll be getting quite a few videos out for the rest and the remainder of the week. So make sure you subscribe, tick the bell, and you'll be notified on any future content. All right. Have a great night. Thanks for joining. We'll catch you on the next one.